Howdy guys, Jimmy Song here. In this video, I'm going to talk about a topic that not a lot of people talk about. It's about boredom. Yeah, boredom. Now, what's interesting about boredom? Well, nothing really, because it's actually really boring to talk about boredom. Kind of, in a sense. The thing about boredom that I am interested in is that boredom is often the impetus for creativity. If you've done any sort of creative endeavor, you know that it is very easy to get distracted. It is very easy to procrastinate. It is very easy to essentially not do the thing that you ought to be doing as a creator, which is to make more stuff. And the reason for that is, essentially, like, we want to avoid doing work if we can, and that's kind of our instinct. But one thing that a bunch of writers have told me is that at some point you have to have the courage to face that blank page and just stare at it and be utterly bored until you come up with something. And it is that willingness that I really want to train, and that's what I meant in that tweet that I said I wrote earlier about trying to find the discipline of being bored, because in many ways or at least I am very kind of like I'm avoidant of boredom. But if you can embrace it, if you can sort of tolerate it and be able to stare at the blank page or the blank computer screen or the blank whatever, and really sort of dive into the task and just sort of stare at it for a long time without doing anything, and getting so bored to the point where doing that activity, doing the act of creation, doing the act of producing, is the thing that you end up doing. Well, that's I think very powerful. I mean, somebody once told me that the ideas that you get are proportional to how much time you're bored, and I think that makes sense, right? Like there's something about having nothing to do where your mind kind of can work on its own thing instead of processing all the information that's coming in. If you're watching this video, you're obviously consuming content, and there's almost way too much content out there, and our minds don't have sort of the time or the focus to be able to search in the space of things that you want to create in. And that boredom sort of helps you to relax a little bit, so your mind can go work on all of that stuff. And yeah, I don't know, it's that's something that I definitely want to explore, to see if being bored for a few hours a day helps me to really unlock a lot of that creative potential. And that's something that I've wanted to do for a while. But I don't really know exactly how to go about it. I mean, some people have suggested that that's essentially what meditation is. But it's I don't know. I think that's a little bit different, because you're sort of focusing on something, or trying to blank your mind or something like that. And I've heard people say that in many ways it's a lot like sleep. I don't want it to be like sleep. I want it to be where the mind can sort of work on stuff. Although, yeah, I mean, your mind does plenty of that during sleep, so I suppose that maybe I'm wrong there on that. Anyway, that's my thought on boredom and why it's so important to sort of cultivate that a little bit. I don't know if there are books or anything like that. If you have suggestions, please leave a comment below. Anyway, hope that helps you. This song is done.